Hello viewers, Super GT here. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for clicking on this video or putting your thumb on it on your phone, whatever it might have been. But here we are with the meaty Chungus, the Mazda Atenza. This is the Group 3 race, Daily Race C, 12 lapper at Interlagos. Now, I said Group 3, but it's basically the Atenza Cup, as pretty much everyone's got the Atenza. There is a Corvette, the Lone Wolf there, in a different car. Now, I'm going to show you a clean race today. An actual, good, clean race. How about it? I bet you thought they didn't actually exist in Gran Turismo, but let me tell you, sometimes they do. Very, very rare indeed, but I found one. It's not this race, this was just me learning this track and having a bit of fun on the Ram Shadow account, because everybody gangster till Ram Shadow turns up at the back of the pack and half the pack was bricking it, waiting for me to come past like this. Boom, up the inside, out the way Spaniard. To be honest though, I think he turned in. All him, that was all him. Now past the Corvette, this very brave Italian guy here going for something different than the Atenza. Fair play to him, but I'm still going to frickin' launch it up the inside, aren't I? And move up into 15th. Cheers, broski. A little bit later, this Hungarian and the Ukrainian seem to engage in hostilities, and I kindly move past both of them up into 13th. Up behind another Spaniard now. Looking for the outside. No, not quite. He goes a little bit too late on the brakes. We're going to cut him back here and go into 12th position. And now, this was one of my favoured moves. If you can't quite get the move done into turn 1, you get it on the exit of the Centre S. Not quite, I suppose, but then down into turn 4, into the slipstream. Boom, late on the brakes. Get the job done. We got it done a little bit too well. We've overcooked it, and he's back up the inside. Didn't quite work, but just being aggressive, going for the moves, you know, trying them out, seeing what works, what doesn't work, and perhaps using that to our advantage in the next race, which, let me tell you, it's a good one. It really is. Up the inside now. There we go. And I think he was quite kind to me there, kind of left the space open. Didn't really fight it. Now up behind the German of Matthias Bauer 173. And boom, up the inside. Doesn't quite work. Again, trying to be aggressive, but not quite working out on this occasion. We go side by side up the hill, and then he resumes his 10th place. A little bit later, end of lap 9, so 3 laps left to go. We're going to cross the line here to go on to lap 10. He goes defensive. There's not really much scope to go around the outside here. It's going to be a really difficult move to get that one right, unless the guy on the inside just brakes way too early or something stupid like that. But he doesn't do that. But we can try and do that move again where we get a good exit, because the Atenza is a little bit clunky through that long left if you don't get the corner before quite right. And now he doesn't defend it. He saw that I lunged for it on the last lap, and here we park it on the apex, give him no chance to cut back on me, and go up into 10th. We now have another guy here to try to overtake, and again, look at this move, just trying to get the momentum on the way out of the corner. I don't have the slipstream with the car ahead, so I have to tuck back in. But once again, pulling out later on the brakes. That is pretty much textbook. That's pretty much exactly how you're going to do it. Slightly later on the brakes, and we finished 9th overall, moving up 10 positions. Actually not too bad, and it was actually a clean race. You can see it there. Officially it was a clean race. And we go for qualifying then on Super GT account. First lap 31.3. I improved to a 31.277 a few laps later, and then to a 31.1. But then looking at my friends list, I wasn't even on my top 10. I need to be in the 31 zeros to be getting that. So we're going to do that here. So I need to go about half a second quicker. Sorry, half a tenth quicker. Not that quite that much. So really hooking up the first apex, abusing that one because you can, and then on the power really early. As always, the importance in Gran Turismo, getting on the power early, and therefore you'll get a really good run down the next straight, and you're always going to be gaining. Look for the 100 board there, braking just after it, I'd say. And you can go down to second, but I think third. Actually keeps your car quite stable through that corner. And the Atenza is the go-to car for this. That's the car that is dominating the race, dominating the leaderboard. And it showed signs, you know, of doing that. I saw wongckj Storm having a really good run in this car around this track in one of the FIA races not too long ago. And the Atenza's always been sort of one of those dark horses for me. I used it quite a lot. About a year ago, or maybe more, look at that, as I used the grass to turn me in a bit better. That was purely accidental. I can't actually claim that one, unfortunately. But I seem to recall when I raced David Perel for the first time. It was around Nürburgring, I was using the Atenza in it. It was actually working really well for me. So the Atenza seems to be a car that I do quite like. And we are slightly ahead of our Ghost here. As we cross the line, it's going to be a 31.0. And there it is, 0.79. So a slight improvement. I think I could do a 30 if I really sweated it out a bit. But here we go then. The Atenza Cup Part 2, starting in P2, up against our fellow Brits here, who's gone for the Renown livery. Really like that actually, really good job. And we're going to ride on board with him as well throughout this race, because I feel like that was a good thing to be able to see. You can see his inputs as well. And I've kept promising this 1v1 playlist. I need to make it, honestly. I need to stop messing about and just fricking make it, because this is going to be added to that collection for sure. This was a great race. First lap, a couple of corners here, just settling into the race. Obviously with a rolling start, everyone's spread out. Not much overtaking into turn one. You kind of get the drill, you know. I do kind of wish that they would do standing starts a little bit more, or a much more compact rolling start. I suppose you've got to be careful what you wish for. We have a more compact rolling start, and the whole idea of a clean race is going to be eliminated from history, you know, because I think sometimes you've got to be careful. A lot of people in the mid-pack, when they're close together, it's not going to end pretty, is it? It's not going to end well. So sometimes maybe this rolling start actually is a good thing. Just keeps the race nice and clean at the start, and then you can settle into the race a little bit more. We're coming into the final corner of lap number 1, 11 more to go. Quite a long race this one, obviously daily race C. No need to fuel, no need to change tyres, it's just a straight dash to the end, and actually you can do pretty much the same lap times at the start and at the end of the race. The tyres don't degrade too much, or as they do, your car gets lighter with less fuel. So your times kind of stay quite similar, it doesn't really change too much. Okay, so into turn 1, just trying to get as close as we can to potentially go for a move at some point. We're going to quickly go on board with the guy behind, who has definitely kept up with us, so it looks like at this point a three-way battle for the lead as we come down the back straight to turn 4. And this is where this race truly unravels for this chap, and it's really easy to make this mistake. He drifts a little bit on the apex and just dips, I was going to say 2 wheels, but actually that's all 4 wheels onto the AstroTurf, spins it round, and then he gets absolutely swallowed up by the pack and falls behind that Spaniard there. So that was pretty much a race-ending or race-defining mistake, and now he's going to find it really difficult to try to catch back up with us. I'm going to whip it forward here to lap number 4, and this is where we begin to start getting a little bit closer. It doesn't look like we're much closer, but we are. You see he makes that mistake there, and that's going to put us slightly closer, about as close as we've ever been. So we've been racing for 6 minutes so far. I haven't been quite this close in the race. And this is the crucial corner here then, because we're coming up to the main straight, and this is where all the good stuff happens. The overtakes and all the slipstream and all that malarkey. So we're going to tuck fully into the slipstream. Let's see how he deals with this. Is he going to defend? Yes, he is, of course. I'm going to try to pin him narrow. He's not moving. He's not budging at all. So we move out to the outside. That method has worked for me before, you know, just keeping them to the inside and eventually they'll move, but he wasn't having any of it. But we've got a better line. We've got him offline there. And this is the move we were trying to do many times in that previous race, the reconnaissance race, earlier on the Ram Shadow account. And now we have the inside line. So that's actually worked really well there. So if you can't get the move done into turn 1, try to get them offline through the centre S, and then you could potentially go for a move down into turn 4, and that's worked. He's almost got the position back, or he has. He's ahead, but he's on the outside, and therefore he surrenders that position. I move up into the lead of the race. We're not even halfway yet, so there's a long time to go for me to try to hold him off, and it's not going to be an easy one. For the first 4 laps, it looked like he was definitely quicker than me, and I was only kind of there, just hanging on in the slipstream. But now this is the true test. See if I can hold him off for another 7 laps after this one. Let's come up to the final corner. This is where things are going to get, as we said, this is where the real importance in this race lays on that corner there. Are they going to be close enough? Because if they're going to be close enough here, it dictates where they're going to be coming into that first corner. And we're going to see that here. He's fully in the slipstream. Nothing I can do about that. He's going to get closer. It's just really a case of judging, should I defend or not? And I'm looking behind all the time, and I've decided, no, he's not close enough. We're not going to defend. No point defending when you don't need to. You're just going to compromise yourself and put yourself under more pressure. So we don't quite go for it. So we stay in the lead, down the back straight again, lap number 6. We're still going to be looking behind, and again, he's very close, but no need to be nervous. Just hit our braking point, take the corner. He's not close enough to go for a savage lunge. Well, he might be. You can savage lunge from anywhere when you think about it. Unfortunately, this guy, he knows what he's doing, and I know what he's doing, and that's a good thing, right? Because sometimes you get into these races, it happens every now and then, where you get into a battle with someone and you both sort of understand what the other guy's doing, you know. Sometimes you're in a fight with someone, but the other person's maybe a lot more aggressive than you, or not as aggressive as you, or they're not understanding what you're doing when you're defending, or they're defending a little bit too much by moving twice or something like that. But on this occasion here, it was just one of those races where we both understood the rules, we both sort of played hard but also fair, and it just turned out to be a really good battle, and it just happens every now and then. And it's also good sometimes when you're sort of separated from the rest of the pack, so you don't have someone to come along and third party ruin you. And on this occasion, it's just a straight up 1v1, and I really enjoy these, you know. I've had quite a few, as I've said, with the playlist that is coming one day, maybe, possibly. Is he close enough here? No, not on this occasion. He does need to get a little bit closer through that final sector. So the final sector, or sort of the middle sector here, the twisty corners, they're not the best in terms of overtaking, but what they really are important for is just getting closer to the car in front so that you can set yourself up for a move up the main straight and then down into the first sector. So that's really the importance of that middle sector in this race at least. And on this occasion here, he is 3/10 behind, and you see him on the radar, he's really close. There he is, right behind me. So that's as close as he's been. Since he's got behind me, this is the closest he's been coming up the main straight. So this is going to be a bit different. I haven't defended so far, but this time I'm definitely going to have to defend. And I'm going to pin myself to the left-hand wall, give him no chance, wait for him to move on the radar, and then late on the brakes, pin him to the outside, and make sure that he can't get that move done. He looks around the outside here, thought about it, he backed out, and that was probably the sensible thing to do, to live to fight another day. And I was just hoping that he wasn't going to do the cutback, because we mentioned David Perel earlier, and I had some really good racing with him. As I go defensive here, I wasn't going to take a chance. I was just going to really make sure that I keep the lead. As I had some really good racing with David Perel, a couple of 1v1s as well, and he got really creative with the way to overtake. Like he would start faking you to the inside, then go to the outside and go back to the inside. So he'd be a bit more creative. And this guy, again, not quite as inventive. Just going to the outside again. And he's not asking too many questions of me, trying to go around the outside here, although this is very much a different question. I'm going to try to pin him to the right hand side and just keep that position. That was very close. I thought he was going to get it. If he had just run me out a little bit more narrow, or a little bit wider, sorry, on the exit of the right hander, then I might have backed out. But he didn't, and here I am, still in the lead. A little bit sketchy for that left-hander, still in the lead, and coming up the hill, we're going to be temporarily side by side here. as we meet the top of the hill, turn to the right, still got the inside, and I'm very much under pressure here. That's a good overtaking opportunity into this corner. Quite difficult to pull off cleanly, although a lot easier when there's no one else about. But he doesn't quite go for it, and we're still in the lead, still in first place. And this corner just feels absolute hellish in the later stage of the race when your tyres are beginning to wear out, especially this and that left-hander there as well. Not the best one. Seems like the car just wanting to understeer wide completely. But okay then, is he close enough on this occasion? I'm going to keep asking this question because that's basically what this race is going to come down to. Is he close enough to go for a move? I'm asking some weird questions of him here by taking some strange lines down the straight. He is following me in the slipstream, looking behind and deciding again that he isn't quite close enough. We pin. I'm going to have to do a drinking game for the word pin here because I keep saying it. I get myself on the first apex quite nicely there, and we're going to get a good exit onto the back straight. And again, this is where I was mostly worried. Into turn 1 not so much, but into turn 4 he was definitely getting a bit of a run on me, and therefore might have gone for the move. It would have still been a brave move, but sometimes I'm just kicking myself, you know, when I don't defend it, someone just lunges and they pull off a good move, and it's like, oh, for God's sake, they probably weren't going to go for it, but sometimes they do and they just pull it off and you're like, oh, should have just defended. But this guy isn't quite doing it, not just yet. He might just be, you know, just testing me, being patient, waiting for the right opportunity, and just working out exactly the best thing, the best way forward in terms of position. And we've only got 2 more laps left to go, so he's running out of time if he wants to do this. If he wants to get past me, he needs to do it in the next 3 minutes because we are going to be running out of laps. And here we go then, end of lap 10. We're only going to be going into the first corner 2 more times, and this is going to be one of them. He needs to make one of them count, ideally, for him, not for me. And once again, I'm on the left-hand side. He needs to fake me out or something, try something new. Not quite. Is he going to try to do the undercut, which is what I did to him, get me out of position? I'm kind of aware of that possibility, so I don't overcook myself into the first apex too much, and therefore I don't get too wide on the exit of that centre S. Try to move out the slipstream, gain a temporary advantage on him, and on this occasion he wasn't close enough into turn 4, so I didn't have to defend it. But the race now very much in the latter stages. You never know what might happen. He might get a bit more aggressive, might just go full send, lick a stamp, and well and truly send it up the inside. First class, signed and what's it? Signed and delivered. What's the Royal Mail? I can't. I'm trying to think of a good joke there, but I completely ruined it. Oh well. You know what I mean, people. Signed and. Let me Google this. Royal Mail. First class signed for. There we go. That's what I want. He's going to go for a Royal Mail first class signed for delivery up the inside. Potentially. We'll see if he does it right now, because this is going to be his last chance into turn 1. So if he's going to do it at turn 1, he needs to do it now. Once again, you know the drill. I'm going to keep to the left. He's pinning me over there a little bit more, and he's going to go around the outside. I'm going to be quite aggressive and make sure he doesn't. But here he could get the run. What I did to him on that 5, and get a better exit here. And you can see he has got that better exit. He's got the slipstream as well. This is probably his last big overtaking opportunity. I'm going to move defensive. I just knew that it was coming. He was probably going to go for it there if I didn't defend. Could he get underneath me here on the left hand side? Yes he can, looking at the radar and having a quick check back. There he is, yep. We're going to stay on the inside. And my goodness me, we've only got half a lap left to go. This has been a very tough defence. Not many position changes, in fact only one. We've only changed position once on lap 5. well, a few times we swapped, like 3 times maybe, but like one actual big proper actual change of position. And I suppose the last chance he has is into this final corner, or if I get a poor exit, slipstreaming me onto the main straight, past on the finish line. So I need to get this right here. I need to get this exit correct. He is very close. He needs to follow me and hope that I miss a shift or something. You can see how close he is here. Is it going to be enough? Because sometimes you can get past people before the finish line, but I think on this occasion it's not going to be quite enough. He's going to be very close, and he flashes the headlights to sort of indicate that was a good race, and my god, was it. That was a great race. He finished 0.0164. Wow. 0.164 behind in the end after 18.5 minutes of racing. What a race. I'm just out of breath commentating on that one. And there he said, tried everything. It was a great race. I think he could have tried something else a little bit more, you know, trying to fake me out or something like that. But to be honest, I enjoyed that. Really great race. I hope you enjoyed it too. And please do let me know your thoughts as always, because it's not often that you always get these clean races in Gran Turismo, these great battles, but sometimes they do happen. And I'm always happy to bring them to you when they do. But that's all from me. Take care as always, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a follow on Twitter, Instagram, all linked in the description below. But in the meantime, take care, and I shall see you very soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.